Hello, everybody. My name is Felix Verriel. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am an American Sign Language interpreter. I predominantly work at the Los Angeles Community Colleges District, specifically at LATTC, which is the Los Angeles Trade Tech College. As an American Sign Language interpreter, I usually work in a classroom setting interpreting lectures and classes with deaf and hard of hearing students. I also work with a couple agencies to do freelance work, either for medical appointments or tours or whatever, wherever and whatever I'm needed for. A lot of oddball jobs. So it really was a lot of word of mouth, as well as being really close to the people in my cohort and kind of asking them, where are you applying to? Where are you working at right now? If they already had a job. I also was lucky enough to be in an interpreting program that set up a sort of like um, show and tell of different employers. And so people who are hiring interpreters like Ventura College, Trisha Bear interpreters, um, and others came and presented their, they gave their spiels about what it's like to work for them, different details about that. And so that's how I kind of decided where to work. I applied to many different places, and I got in with most of them, if not all. Some places never responded, so that happens. I don't think it was hard to find work because I am queer. I think that because of the industry I work in, there's such a shortage of interpreters that not that it would have been an issue, but they're just trying to get as many people as they can right now. Um, I also feel like because of having an oppressed identity, I'm able to relate with the deaf community on a different level. I feel that that has helped uh, kind of aid my work and motivates me every day to go to work. Working in downtown is kind of a commute, so um, I also use my queer identity and my LGBTQIA plus identity as kind of like an armor. I can walk around with the confidence knowing that I'm part of a community that's very strong, made up of very inspirational people, people that I look up to, people in our history that I look up to. And I know that that makes me different from the other people that I work with. And I can appreciate that about myself. And I see that as something to be grateful for, really. I kind of navigate my life now, not really feeling like I need to come out to anybody. If the topic comes up, it usually is very natural now. Like, I'll be like, oh, I went on a date with a guy the other day, and it's just like totally normal. But that's really about my comfortability with the people that I'm surrounded with. I kind of like have to gauge the room, feel the room, sense if anyone might be homophobic or queerphobic, transphobic. So there's that. But usually when I'm at work, I don't really even think about having to come out to anybody. But when I do uh, step into a classroom, I am somewhat cognizant about how I am perceived by the people in the classroom. That is just something that is personal to me, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way when you're walking into a room full of strangers, really. So, yeah, that's that. I feel like I navigate my workspace kind of with the flow of how other people navigate it. So if that is a conversation that comes up, then I will share my pronouns with people. I've been having to interpret classes on Zoom, uh, like a lot of other folks who are students and professors and other people having to use Zooms for meetings and business stuff, just like that. I'm very fortunate to have that opportunity to work through Zoom. Thank goodness. I'm currently holding on to my job for dear life. I'm hoping that they don't reduce my hours too much. It's kind of a confusing time since some classes aren't meeting online that I was interpreting in person. So that means those hours are gone for me now. But I'm still grateful that I am employed. So there's that. So I actually had to take some notes on this because there are a couple of key things that I wanted to bring up for everybody. I've been watching um, I've been watching a lot of videos about the state that our economy is in right now, and it can be really scary. And so my advice to everybody is to stay up to date with what's happening, not only with COVID, but also with our economy. It's really important to read up and become more financially literate so that you can take charge of your own finances better, especially post graduation, because the way you feel during college is totally different um, afterwards, after you graduate, because you feel like everything is all on you now. At least that's how I felt. And I really tried to get on top of where I was spending my money, if I had a savings. So yeah, two important tax credits that I would look into that some people in our community, students, LGBTQ individuals might qualify for is the American Opportunity Credit, which is for students, as well as the Earned Income Tax Credit, which is for low income individuals. That's just the last thing that I want to mention. So thank you so much for reaching out to me, and thank you for listening. Okay, bye.